Yo, yo, we back with another one. Back with another one. It's your boy, the Mechanic, man. We in the building.
Hey, it's your boy FatBoy Spike. You know, I'm in the building representing Breast Cancer Awareness Month, man. Praying for all
Yeah,
y'all with breast cancer, man.
yeah. Yeah, man. Back with another episode, man. Y'all see that title? Y'all see that title? NBA Countdown, man. We had opening night last night. NBA opening night. Last night. We had it. What you think about it, Fat Boy?
Hey, well, I was anxious to see the Denver and Lakers game because there's been a lot of talking going on ever since Denver won their championship and shit. And it seemed like Denver really cared more about beating y'all than they did about winning the championship because it was more about, they talked more about y'all after the championship than the fact that they won the championship. But then the Lakers came in, you know, to the training camp and all that, you know, stuff right before the season start. And they talking about they ready. They talking about they ready. They've been hearing all the talking. They've been discussing it. And opening night, they got the motherfucker that they've been talking all the shit. And then they look like they shouldn't have done no talking. Them Lakers should have just shut up and played ball, man. Because I don't know. Honestly, like I don't understand why people keep on paying Anthony Davis like he that guy. Like I wouldn't pay Anthony Davis like he that guy. Because he scored 17 points in the first half, had one rebound in the first half. And then y'all was down 15, 14. I forgot y'all were down there, had 14, 15 points. And then all of a sudden, second half come, he go 0 for 6. He finally do something decent rebounding wise. He grabbed 7 rebounds in the first half, but the second half, but he didn't score no points. Joker made him look like a little boy. I'm sitting up there like, what is really going on? So it kind of threw me off, man. It's just the fact that I ain't know if he came to, okay, first half I scored 17 points just to show y'all that I can do this if I want to. Second half, I ain't really got to do nothing. It was just some bullshit to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think y'all done overpaid him for another 3 years. What y'all got him 5 more years all together? Yeah, y'all got 2 more going on.
I think he gonna end up getting traded at some point. Probably not this season, but he gonna end up getting traded at some point. Especially if he get hurt again, they just gonna have to let it go.
Oh, he getting hurt. I was actually, to be honest with you, I was expecting that last night. I was expecting him to get hurt last night, just because it's Anthony Davis.
So they trying to keep LeBron, I think, around that 28-minute playing. So they watching his minutes closely. So that's gonna be a thing that hurt for them to try to be rich to him. And then we had, of course, you said Anthony Davis didn't do shit. He was -17. He didn't do shit in the second half. So it wasn't no need of him playing. He should have just stayed in the locker room. I think we would have won if he would have stayed in the locker room. Because he didn't contribute. Like, you were just on the floor taking up space on the offensive end where somebody else could have been doing something. But if he would have stayed in the locker room, I think we probably could have won that game. And we would have just had to deal with Jokic, you know what I'm saying, on the defensive end. The offensive end. What was it? It was somebody else I had something to say. The bench didn't give us shit. They didn't give us really nothing. Rui, he looked like he wasn't in, like he wasn't. It's like he ain't had the wheels turning. I don't know what was going on with him, but he wasn't hitting on all cylinders.
But Prince did his thing, though. Prince did his thing. Torin Prince, if I'm pronouncing his name right, he came to play.
Yeah, he did his thing. What, in the first half? What do you have in the first half?
I don't even know. I was keeping up with AD. But look, Christian Woods played decent. Maybe y'all should have gave some of them minutes y'all gave to AD to Christian Woods, and because what he was 3 for 4 for, I think he went 3 for 4 for 6, 7 points in 15 minutes, and AD she went 17 points in 39 minutes or however many minutes he played. But this is something I got to get out. if y'all play D'Angelo Russell more than Austin Reeves, motherfucker LeBron James, Christian Woods, Torrey Prince, if y'all gonna play him like he the star, y'all ain't doing shit this year. I ain't know when in the hell D'Angelo Russell some ass to me, right? Like
Yeah.
it's crazy how
He played terrible too.
huh?
He played terrible too.
But yeah, and it's crazy to me. Like it's crazy. Like you get a player like a D'Angelo Russell. He had one good year in Brooklyn, and it just so happened to be the year before he become a free agent, and that's how he get that big ass contract. And he ain't done nothing since. And then y'all get him last year contract year. He get benched in the playoffs. It's not a good fit for y'all, in my opinion, because he don't to me he don't got the heart for it. To me, he don't got it where it matters most. So he get benched in the playoffs, and then y'all turn around and sign him for a decent amount of money. I know it was double figures. I can't remember exactly how much, but y'all turn around and re-sign him. I don't know if y'all was doing it because y'all wanted the depth off the bench. I don't know what it was, but I wouldn't have signed that fool back. Fool, that man is not. He is not. No, I wouldn't have done it.
No, with that, they had him and AD starting last night. So D Russ gonna have to share them minutes with. They need to get some of D Russ minutes to Rui, because he didn't play a decent amount of time last night. That's probably why he couldn't get in the groove. He only played 15 minutes. That's for type of player he is. His ass should have been out there. Yeah, like you said, AD, if he gonna play like that, then you need to get Christian Wood some of his goddamn minutes.
Yeah.
It's like shit. Like you got to make the adjustment, and then you're gonna be resting LeBron, so they pulling his ass out.
And is that a good idea though?
I mean, they looking at it because now you got this new rule to where you can't rest players like that no more. So they gotta, give him less minutes to try to make up for the days that he was taking off. That's the way I seen it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it, but the first game of the season though.
What's good, Allen? I mean, this what they trying out.
What to do,
I guess they trying it out, right now, but it ain't gonna work for him. I mean, even though it was like 5 minutes. I mean, shit, it's still 5 minutes.
So what he ended up playing 29 minutes, right?
Yeah, 29 minutes. AD played 34.
They should have switched that shit. Let AD play 29. Because LeBron was a +7 last night, right?
Yep. They should have let AD play the second half, and when he came out that third quarter, you ain't doing shit. Going back to the locker room.
Hell yeah.
Come here, Rui. LeBron, you gonna have to pick Christian Wood.
I'm telling you. So with this minutes restriction, see, I think, let me say this first before I say with this minutes restriction. I think this the reason why they think they can do this minutes restriction shit, because they thinking that Anthony Davis is gonna step up and take that torch. If he step up like he's supposed to, like he gave you 17 in the first half, okay, that's cool. We can rock with that. But then in the second half, we need at least another 13, 14, right? You should have had 30, 31 points that game. And then you would have been like, okay, they can. It just so happened we probably, what y'all lost by? 13, 12? Y'all lost by 12.
Yeah. So
if he scored 13, 14 points, I ain't saying y'all would have won. I'm just saying it would have been a much closer game. And then you would have been like, okay, Anthony Davis looked like he probably can take the mantle from LeBron. So we can rest LeBron and just see if we can have him as fresh as we can for when the playoff comes. So we sacrificing that for the long run. But AD ain't showing us that he can take over. Like all he seems like he care about is the fact that I want to get paid. The rest of it, I don't care. And yeah, okay, Jeffrey, I would have played him this game. Too much talking.
Yeah, I agree with him. I agree with Jeffrey on that. That's what I was finna say. Because For the simple fact that you don't. I mean, yeah, you responded. You was the first one to respond to what they said. I ain't know nothing about this until yesterday because I don't keep up with that shit, that part of the game. But LeBron responded, and you played less minutes than what you would have. Like, he should have played his ass the whole game. He should have had 40 minutes.
See, they asked. I didn't see the whole what you call the press conference after the game, but they asked LeBron how he feel about playing the 29 minutes or whatever, or his minute being on a minute restriction and all that shit. And he was like, it seemed like they were asking him a question. Now they asked him, was he upset about it? Like he didn't know, and he was like, he knew how many minutes he was gonna play because it was already being talked about. Because they were like LeBron, the coaches, and LeBron trainer, they all got together and was like, we need to play him, you know, less minutes this year and allow his body to heal and have, because he's still gonna take plays off even when he on the court too. But he a threat on the court. If he on the court, he'll folks looking at him as a threat. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I look at it like they should have just kept him. They should have just I'd have just let him play.
They need to have some set plays to where, okay, you go over there to that corner and, you know, get out the way. That way the other 4 players run through these plays probably like two times down the court. LeBron, you just get out the way and let them run this play right here to where you don't really do nothing. And then if that shit ain't working, then you go get the ball and try to, you know, get y'all the basket until everybody get in the groove. Rest his ass that way. Don't put him on the bench because AD ain't playing like he needs to be on the bench.
Nope, he not, and that's the thing. That's the exact thing. That's the exact thing. Because if AD ain't gonna, like I said, I know I just said it, but if AD ain't gonna step up this season and LeBron play these less, it's gonna be like a wasted season. Like, why did I come? Why did I come back? Or why am I playing? Or why am I playing less minutes? Shit, let me just add to my point total and try to get to 40,000 points or some shit. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, Denver did pick up right where they left off. But I mean, they playing. I ain't gonna say it's a new Lakers team, but it is a new Lakers team. So
yeah, I mean, Denver got camaraderie. They got, you know what I'm saying, they been together. Like, I don't even know who they added. Did they add anybody?
That's the thing. I don't think they bench gonna be shit. So we're gonna say that's why I say I don't think they're gonna repeat, because I don't think they're gonna get no production from the bench. And they gonna need that, like, going into the season, especially since they can't rest these players like they want to. So that's gonna be an issue unless they, you know, make some changes later on in the season, which I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. But I like all the starters played good. Caldwell Pope kicked our ass. That's the reason we lost.
I mean, he been doing that though, because he upset about he didn't want to leave LA. So every chance he get, he putting that work in, and then you wanted them gone, so it's your fault.
Yeah, but he wanted. What was he doing? He'll be on one game, next 5 games he off. Like, what's the fucking purpose? Then you getting beat on defense.
But that's a role player though. You know, they might be on, they might be off, but you know, so because he
3 and D. You got 2 jobs, 3 and D. Make your threes and goddamn play defense. That's all you need to do.
Well, he made them last night, and y'all let Joker start off with a triple-double. That's crazy. 29, 13, and 11. I think
they need to give Dwight Howard a chance. And LeBron James was the best Laker on the floor last night, and that's crazy. Facts. And he started off. Look, didn't he start? He started off slow just so everybody else could get going.
That's how he played. He always do that. Let me see if I can get the rest of the team going, and then I come along and get mine.
Yeah, I think they need to have some talks with Dwight Howard and get him on just so we can have a center because AD, it ain't gonna work with him playing center.
Because he don't want to do it.
Right. It's already in his head. He already said during off-season shit, he want to play more than 4.
So
like it's already in his head, like, no, I ain't playing no fucking 5.
I got one last thing to say on this subject. If AD don't step up, y'all ain't going nowhere, and Denver look good. That's all I got.
They did their thing on their ring night, and that was it.
Now, let's get into this Warriors Phoenix Suns. Let's get into this Warrior Phoenix Suns game because I got a lot to say about this game. And the first thing I'm gonna say about this game, because we talked about this, I think last week, if I ain't mistaken, if that's the Klay Thompson I'm getting, I'm not paying that nigga. If that's the Klay I'm getting, I'm not paying him. I'm not paying him.
He played terrible, but they got him a +9 though.
Yeah, but so I'm pretty sure you know what that plus-minus shit mean, but I'm gonna say what that plus-minus shit mean anyway. Only thing that plus-minus shit mean is it don't mean you scored no points. It don't mean you didn't score. All plus-minus mean is when you was on the floor, the team outscored the other team by 9 points. That's all it means. That's all it means, right? You couldn't even, you might not have shit to do with it. You might didn't score no points, didn't get no rebound, no assists, but you was on the floor when the other team outscored the other team by 9 points. That's all that means. And I ain't saying that, you know, he wasn't effective when he was in the game. But what I am saying is they pay him for the same reason he supposed to be a bigger and better Caldwell Pope. Hit these fucking threes and play some defense.
Mm-hmm.
And he ain't doing that right now. He ain't doing it. And so if you telling me that this fool want 50 million to start off, like that's where he want his contract to start at, 50 million, whether it's 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, like if I'm them and he want a max contract, I give his ass, I tell him, look, this is what we can do. I give you 3 years, 110 million or something. Like we can do that, right? I'm gonna pay for your loyalty or whatever for you being here a lot. But you go 6 for 18, 3 for 11 for 3, and score 15 points, and you want me to give you, if this the Klay Thompson no, I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Fuck that. I'm not doing it. How you think Chris Paul looked with them yesterday?
I think Chris Paul, I think he did a good job. I think he did a good job, but the mistake I see that Steve Kerr made when Steph was finna get it going, Chris Paul was like, "You really want me to take him out right now?"
After that layup, he had just hit. I seen it.
He finna start cooking. Chris Paul was like, "You sure?" Because he finna get it going. I think Steve Kerr should let that shit played out for the simple fact Chris Paul approaching you about it.
Yeah.
Like, nah, just wait. And you know, I can get my minutes later on. But I think he shouldn't have put Chris Paul in at that time. Because when Steph on the floor by himself, he will start cooking.
Yeah.
Especially with the guys that he was playing with. And he gonna get them to produce too. So that was the only thing I really seen. Because I ain't really want to watch that game.
I want to see it though, because I got some unpopular to say, and people might get upset with me about it, but I'm gonna say that for a few minutes. But I think Golden State lost this game for 2 reasons. Well, it's more than 2 reasons, but other than them not making their threes like we're accustomed to, I think they lost this game for two other reasons. One of the reasons is I think they slowed their pace down a little bit too much.
Yeah, because Chris Paul was in the game, right?
Yeah, they were letting Chris Paul control the pace of the game, and I don't think that that's how. Like, what Golden State Warrior team you ever seen play like that?
And that's what what's his name? That what Steph was saying. Like it's something that they ain't never did, but they gonna have to get used to it because it is time during the game where they do need to slow it down. But that wasn't the time last night.
And then the other reason I think they lost is because Steph allowed himself to get in foul trouble. Because it was points, it was times on the court. I mean, it was time that he would have been on the court, but he'll pick up that dumbass third and fourth foul, then pick up that dumbass fifth foul in the fourth quarter with like 9 minutes to go. I got to get you out of here. I got to get you out because I can't afford for you to foul out, because he hit some big shots down the stretch. Shots that probably wouldn't have been needed if he was able to play that fourth quarter. Like, what he missed like 5 or 6 minutes in the fourth quarter, that if he was allowed or able to play them 5 or 6 minutes, they probably wouldn't have needed them big shots. And they only lost by what, 3 or 4 points or something like that?
4 points.
4 points. See, that's where I'm at with that. Like, I feel like he allowing himself to get into foul trouble because they wanted to challenge one of his fouls. His fourth foul, they were talking about challenging, and I was like, for what? He fouled him. So those 2 of the reasons why I felt like they really lost last night. But let me say, did you see that play when I think his name was it Moody? It was either Moody or the other one. I can't think of the other one name. The other dude for the Warriors. When Devin Booker ran into him and grabbed him, and then he pushed Devin Booker off of him.
Was it second half?
Yeah, it was in the second half. Yeah, fourth quarter.
Second half.
Okay, well, so Devin Booker grabbed him. They were like the dude with Kuminga. I think it was Kuminga. They were fighting for position, right? So as they fighting for position, Devin Booker grabbed him. And when Devin Booker grabbed him, they was tussling. Kuminga was trying to post Devin Booker up. Devin Booker kind of like grabbed both of his arms and he pushed Devin Booker up off him. And when he pushed Devin Booker up off him, they called the offensive foul on Kuminga. Steve Kerr challenged it. I was like, yeah, Kerr gonna win this. Man, them folks said the contact from Devin Booker was, I can't even think of the word they used, but it was like, it was okay. Like, he was okay to grab him. Like, no the fuck, you can't grab no motherfucking matter when they trying to get in post position. You grab the man and not let the man come around you. But they was like his retaliation or some shit. You got to hear the explanation that they gave why them folks didn't win that challenge. Shit was so stupid, fool, because everybody, like the broadcasters were saying that, okay, yeah, they're gonna overturn that and get that foul to Devin Booker. I'm looking at the shit, so yeah, that foul on Devin Booker. And they didn't overturn that shit. I was like, that gotta be the stupidest shit I ever seen in my life.
Man, you know how them refs is.
So I think like the Warriors, I think they ready for them to play out.
Ready for who to play out?
Oh, the Warriors, the NBA ready for them to play out.
Like for the dynasty to go down.
Yeah, I think they want to build somebody because they get older too. I
mean, shit. You said the NBA ready for it?
Yep.
So I mean, if like Alan said, he said he think Clay gonna eventually come alive. I think he is too. Yeah, I mean, it's just the first game, so we just critiquing. But I think he gonna step up. But like the way he playing now ain't reflecting what he's saying he want for that contract. But like for them to win, they're gonna need Draymond healthy. Of course, they enforcer, and they're gonna need Clay to play like Clay. Yeah, look, what 20, 21, 22 a game. They need that Clay.
I agree with that 100%.
Another thing about the Warriors, the story that came out while Draymond did what he did to Pooh.
Yeah.
You heard what happened?
Talking about what Jordan Poole was supposed to have been said to him.
Well, basically, Draymond was mad over something else was going on in his head, something his baby mama had did. But and that's basically the reason why he ended up taking it out on Jordan Poole, which I mean he still was wrong, but Jordan Poole used this shit to his advantage, and that's how he ended up getting paid from the Warriors. So right after that shit happened, when Draymond knocked him out, he called his agent. And they saying that's the reason the shit probably got leaked right there.
Talking about the video.
Yeah, because he like right after it happened, they said he called his agent and he's like, "Yeah, I'm finna get paid."
he probably finna sue. Tell him I'm gonna sue the shit out of him now. I'm gonna sue the shit out of him. So y'all better figure something out.
That's why they said that's why he got the money, and that's why what's the dude name that stepped down? He had ended up stepping down.
The GM.
But, yeah, he ended up stepping down because of that shit. But
yeah, I said I think they overpaid. Like he a bench player that don't do nothing but score, right? Like you a nigga like that, like I'm glad he got his own team now because it's really time to see if he worth all that money that they gave him.
They saying he the new James Harden. I want to see it. I ain't never watched Washington game, but I want to see
it. I can see that. What's that controversy from FatBoy? Jeffrey. It ain't that bad, Jeffrey. But look, let me say this first before I get to this shit. When you remember when Phoenix first made that trade for Bradley Beal, and everybody was like, "Yeah, them folks did this, they did that, man. They got Bradley Beal, woo, 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 woo." And I'm sitting there and I'm like, in Washington, Bradley Beal was averaging missing like 30-something games a year. Like, is we really sure this Bradley Beal shit? Like, the name, you hear the name Bradley Beal, you know what he represents. Okay, that's fine. I get it. Mm-hmm. But the player, hell no. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's like sometimes I feel like people don't be watching. They just hear, okay, Bradley Beal cold. Okay, Kevin Durant cold. So-and-so cold. LeBron James this. Anthony Davis this. But they don't watch to see that, yeah, Bradley Beal cold when he play. Like Zion a bad motherfucker when he play. Motherfucker be like, when he was on the court last year, Zion Williams on the court last year, he averaged 29 points and 7 rebounds. Yes, but he did it for 26 games. We need it for 70 at least. We need at least 70 games of this shit. I don't want to pay you $45 million a year for you to average 29 points in 26 games. Them 26 games ain't helping me. I can't get to the playoff winning 26 games. And that's what my problem with that trade was, because I'm like, Bradley Beal always stay hurt. And now Kevin Durant was at the point where he always stay hurt. So what was we looking at? And Nurkic played pretty good last night, though. Nurkic.
Yeah, he did his thing. He did his thing. But do you think well, I can't even say he took a back seat to what's name. He was just missing Kevin Durant to Devin Booker.
I think okay, so now that you brought it up,
about the same. Yeah, no, he ain't taking no back seat. They both had the same amount of shots, 21, and KD took 22. Shit, Devin Booker just hit, more than he did. So they would have averaged out about the same if KD would have hit like 5 more shots. So he would have had 30 something too.
All right, now that's where the controversy come in, right?
What?
I don't think Kevin Durant they got no more. I honestly think Kevin Durant. I don't want to sit here and say that he ain't gonna have no good games this year, but let's go back to the last 2 years in the playoffs. Tell me what he did. What they went 6 with Denver last year, right? Tell me what he did in them 6 games. And I ain't talking about the points because Kevin Durant was called the most efficient scorer in NBA history, which means he was taking 17 shots, scoring 39 points, right? So if you taking 17 shots, scoring 39 points, it was games last year and the year that him and when he was with Brooklyn and they lost to Boston, he taking 31 shots to get 32 points and shit like that. So like what I'm saying is like if you give any NBA player 30 shots, they can get 30 points. That's not good for no NBA players, especially not no damn Kevin Durant.
Nah.
So what I'm saying is like I don't think Kevin Durant done took a back seat. I just think Devin Booker is better than him. I think Kevin Durant wanted to go to Phoenix because he seen that there was a player in Phoenix that he can rely on when, okay, I know I ain't got it no more. Like I know Kyrie Irving, it's a chance that Kyrie Irving could have been that player, but is he gonna be there? Is he gonna come to work? Right?
I think he went over there to chase that ring.
He chasing that ring, but he got with a player that them folk would have got swept last year if fucking Devin Booker didn't play out of his mind, fool. That man played out of his mind in them playoff games. He played out of his mind. And then as soon as Devin Booker came crashing down, like who the hell, who taking 20-something shots a game, shooting 70 and 80% from the field? Devin Booker did that shit like four, 5 games in a row. And then when he came crashing down, Phoenix Suns burned. They burned. And Kevin Durant wasn't nowhere to save them. He couldn't help them.
So do you think they saw that and that's the reason they got Bradley Beal?
I think that is a reason, that and the fact that I think it's that. I think it's the fact that they know, because you know Bradley Beal get injured a little bit too, but I think it's that. I think it's injury wise. So like if Kevin Durant missed, okay, we still got Booker and Beal. If Beal missed, okay, we still got Durant, and if Book missed, we still got the other two. I think it's that right there too.
They trying to have at least two stars on the team plus Nurk, which is was a damn good pickup.
Yeah. And then I didn't even know they had got Eric Gordon, and he had a terrible game yesterday, but he hit a big shot.
I think he played decent, didn't he? What? Hold on.
Well, I mean, offensively, he had a terrible game. I think he missed his first 7-3, 6-3. Well, he went 1 for 6, 1 for 7.
16, but for him to come off the bench, I mean, shit. What were they expecting? Like he a defensive player, and to knock down free threes, which I mean, he went 2 for 9. Damn, he didn't do your job.
That's my point, yeah. Because he missed like his first 6 or 7 threes or some shit like that. So I was like that. And then you know Eric Gordon gonna shoot them holes from deep. He don't take no motherfucking right at the 3-point line threes. He shoot them bitches from deep like he still carry for real. So that's where I'm at with that shit though. I think because Bradley Beal a little younger than them. Well, Devin Booker, the younger one. I'm talking about. Well, let me say it different. I think they got rid of CP3 because they needed a little younger player.
Mm-hmm. But they got rid of that. What's his name? The backup guard too. What's his name?
Cameron Payne. But Cameron Payne is shit, man.
Shit, to distribute the ball to these 3 motherfuckers. That's all we need you to do.
He's not a distributor. Cameron Payne is a score first. His mentality is to try to score first. So you pay attention to game 6 against Denver last year. Cameron Payne was the only motherfucker really. I think what he scored 29. He had 7. He started off 7 of 7 from 3. He started off 7 of 7 from 3. I don't think Cameron Payne. They need a point guard though, because Book can't play point guard and get them the scoring that they need throughout a whole game for a whole season.
But they got that Jordan Goodwin dude as they backup.
Who is it?
Nobody.
That's my point.
He only had 3 assists, 2 2 points, 4 rebounds, 2 turnovers.
And see, at least Chris Paul, I think he had 8 or 9 assists for the Warriors last night. You see what I'm saying? So that's another thing that we looking at too. Like they gave up stability at the point guard position.
And he had 2 steals. Who said Chris Paul don't play defense? He might be leading the league in steals right now.
I don't want to say it this way, but I don't think steals and playing defense is the same thing. Because if I'm guarding you one-on-one and the nigga run up behind you and snatch the ball out your hand, he just stole the ball from you when you weren't looking. Now, if you dribbling in front of me and I smack the ball out your hand, that's defense. Like, cause what's his name? Gary Payton Jr., Gary Payton II, whatever, GP2. He had like 3 or 4 steals yesterday, but his steals came from they got the rebound, the wrong person was running up the floor, he ran up behind him and snatched that motherfucker. Like, that's not defense to me. That's like a sneak attack. Like the nigga that play for New Orleans, I think, do that shit all the time. He do it all the time.
If it's gonna get you on our defense team, do that shit.
I don't think it's gonna get you on our defense team though. I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, right? So let's say you average 2 steals. Say you lead the league in steals, right? 2 steals a game, 3 steals a game, whatever the lead to be, right? So let's just say you did that, right? Okay. Now, let's just say, all right, they do gotta take your steals into consideration, right? But now let's say that when they see you guard your man one-on-one, okay. So if I'm guarding you one-on-one and you usually shoot 48% from the field, and every time you play against me, you shooting 51, 52%, but I lead the league in steals though. Yeah, but that might tear your ass up every time you step across from him. Every time you step across from him, he lighten your ass up.
I think that's one of the things that they take into consider. I think they supposed to take into consideration too, how much you stopping the player too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think that shit's still gonna be a favorite thing at the end of the day. Cause like Gilbert Arenas said, shit, if and I don't know if Kobe made that defensive team that year. I think he did, but he averaged 35 against them, and Kobe was guarding him. Well, like 32, 35 against Kobe over his career. And he was like
Arenas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he did say what is it? Kobe Bryant, Bruce Bowen, Rajah Bell, stop it. He said with one player, I think he said Marcus Banks or some shit. He said that's the only player that I had that stopped me and slowed me down every time. He said I caught hell with him every time. So yeah, no.
Said KD has lost a step, and steals is a weird stat to me too.
I don't want to say it's a weird stat. I'm just saying, like, I don't want people to think like if you don't watch the game, like just say you don't watch the game, right? And you go check the box score and you say, damn, Chris Paul had 6 steals today, but you don't see how Chris Paul got them 6 steals. That might had a hell of a defensive game. But then you turn around and watch Sports Center and they say, Chris Paul was guarding Devin Booker the whole game, and Devin Booker scored 47 on 60% shooting.
Okay, then, so go ahead, finish.
Now I was just saying, then you're gonna be like, wait a minute, did he really have a good defensive game?
So would you say James Harden was an elite scorer?
I never thought that, because to me, when most of your points come from the free throw line, hell no. I never thought that, fool. Like, I used to argue with folks about that shit. They were like, James Harden, one of the greatest scorers in the league. How? That might go do a stupid ass move. The referee, now pay attention now. When they said these dumbass moves James Harden do are no longer considered fouls, what kind of scoring has he been doing since then?
What do you feel like a 15-point, like off the bench OKC?
Yeah, he back to OKC Giant Hard now. See, I think they had to build him up though. Like they to me, they find certain players to be like, okay, we're gonna build this person up. We're gonna like some motherfuckers just good at basketball, period. And I ain't saying he ain't good at basketball. I'm saying like they built him up because it was games I seen, and one was against the Grizzlies. That's probably why this one I'm always gonna remember. The man went he went 2 for 19 from the field against the Grizzlies.
6 on their ass.
That might scored 31 points, 2 for 19. Was it 31 or 28 to 31? 2 for 19, bro.
From the field, y'all. 2 for 19.
2 for 19 from the field. Let's go like 31 points.
I remember because you called me crying about it.
Sure did. I ain't gonna say crying, but I did call you complaining. Sure the fuck did. Cause it's ridiculous, fool. Like, come on now. Come on. It got so crazy one day that LeBron got a tick. I don't know if you remember this. They was guarding Houston. Them folks, whistle, whistle, whistle. LeBron told the whole team, put your hands behind your back and play defense. They gave LeBron a tick for that because they said he was trying to show up the referee. He put his hand behind his back, guarding James Harden, and they gave him a goddamn technical foul for that for showing up the referee. The man got fouled for being. The
ref should have got fined $50,000 for that.
Yeah.
At least 20.
Yeah. These refs get away with the craziest shit that we know of, right? We don't know what go on behind the scenes, but they need to let us know they punishment sometimes, like they let us know the player punishment, the coach's punishment. Let us know these motherfucking referee punishment because they deserve it too.
For real.
And that's my thing though, but
all right, Phoenix. Can we say anything less of a championship from Phoenix?
Yep.
Yep,
they got a big 3.
So if they don't win, they fail for the season.
Yep, championship or bust. If you don't win the championship, and I'm putting, and this might sound crazy because of what I just said, I'm putting it on Kevin Durant. I'm putting it on Kevin Durant.
He started that shit.
He started it. Look, this is my point, right? So you go join an already ready-made team, win 2 championships. You're a champion, 2-time Finals MVP. Can't nobody take that away from you. But then you said, I'm finna show y'all that I don't need this team to win the championship. You go to Brooklyn, what, 4-5 years, 3-4-5 years? And then get out the second round now time. First year in Phoenix, then get out the second round. Then they go grab you another all-star caliber player, superstar caliber player to already go along with the superstar on the team and the superstar in you, get you a big man that actually want to be there, get rid of Aiden, who was a distraction in my opinion. They get rid of Aiden, bring you Nurkic.
A distraction though when he started there when Chris Paul was there too, right? That was before KD came.
Yeah. He was a distraction before KD, because you remember he tried to go to was it Indiana?
I don't know. I know he said he wanted out.
He signed with Indiana, but he was a restricted free agent, so he didn't. This is what happened. This is what they said really happened. He went to management. They were talking contract. He wanted the max contract that every other person, you know, of his caliber or whatever was getting out of his draft class. He wanted that max contract. They told him no. They offered him a contract. He turned it down. So he went and signed the max that he could sign with another team for 4 years at the max, which is like $50-some million less than Phoenix could have gave him, and Phoenix matched the motherfucker. I don't have a problem with that because I'm not paying you $200 million if I think you worth $130 million. Just because everybody else doing their dumb shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm not paying you just because everybody else paying their player. Somebody got to take a stand somewhere. Like, and I hate to go back to this. Jaylen Brown would not have gotten no fucking $300 million.
Oh,
he couldn't have got that. I'd have gave his ass that same 5 years, probably 220, 230. I'm not, no. So you paying these players based off what the market say a player that make an all-star team should be worth. I'm paying these players with my eyes telling me this player, what this player been doing the last few years, what this player worth. And that's why I like what Phoenix did. Like, I don't mean to cross the sport over, but do you be watching football do you be watching NFL guys? You know who Daniel Jones is?
Nah, I be watching some of them though, but not really.
Okay, Daniel Jones played for the Giants. Daniel Jones probably one of the top 4 worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Last year, Daniel Jones get a new coach. Played 16 games. Listen to me now. He played 16 games out of 17 and threw 15 touchdowns in 16 games. They paid this nigga. He was a free agent. They gave him a 4-year, $160 million contract, $40 million a year. Every person in the media that I listen to talk about Daniel Jones asked one question: what in the fuck was the Giants thinking about? Daniel Jones is a $20 to $25 million quarterback per year. Ain't no way in the hell I'm getting no nigga like that, no 40 million, but they paying for the position and the fact that he was a free agent. That's all they paid for. And that's what Phoenix Suns said, I am not doing that shit because your classmates or your draft mates at that time getting this country. No, you not getting it. And I'm with them 100% because I wouldn't have gave DeAndre Ayton that. I wouldn't have gave Anthony Davis what he got. I wouldn't have gave Jaylen Brown what you can't be doing that. That shit dumb. And one more thing, I'm gonna talk about Jalen Harden for 1 second. I think Jalen Harden pissed off because he thought he was gonna get a max contract. I wouldn't get Jalen Harden nowhere near. Jalen Harden, another nigga, 20, 25 million. That's your max. But to answer your question again, yes, if Phoenix don't win that motherfucking championship with all the pieces that they brung over there, it's a failure, and I'm blaming Durant. It's a failure, and I'm blaming Durant.
There it is, Durant. You reason. You reason for the season. What else we got? I had a question about that 6 man of the year. How many games you can't start to be eligible for that?
I think you got to start less than half of the games.
So starting 35 games, you would have been eligible for the 6 man.
You should be eligible, yeah, if you do like 35, yeah.
I was trying to see that year Jamal Crawford won. Why didn't Lou get it that year?
I mean, if you tell me Jamal Crawford or Lou Williams winning 6 man of the year, I'm basically gonna say, okay. Like, I'm not gonna even argue about it because
they average the same.
Yeah, I'm saying whichever one you give it to, they because they both deserve it every time to me. Like now, if you don't gave it to Jamal 6 times in a row and Lou ain't got it now time, then I'm gonna have a problem with it. Or vice versa, you gave it to Lou 6 times in a row and Jamal ain't got it now time, then I'm gonna have a problem. But if they both got it 2-3 times a piece, and then the 4th time come up for one of them, and you choose whichever one you decide to choose, that's fine with me. I'm okay with it. Like,
I guess it worked out like it did because, I mean, I think that year Jamal Crawford probably started 6 games, but Lou started 35 games, so that's probably why. And I didn't even see what their teams did, but that shouldn't even. I guess it shouldn't matter.
But it's so crazy though, because I think Lou Williams was one of the only players that I could think of that came off the bench but was the best player on the team. Like, think about them Clipper days before Kawhi, before Paul George, and he coming off the bench. He the best player on. That might say I'm on one today with Durant. I was just telling y'all like the shit I've been seeing with Durant lately. I ain't been seeing Kevin Durant, so that's all it is. But you think about them Clipper days though with Pat Beverly. Who the hell? Pat Beverly. I can't even remember who they had, fool. That's how crazy it was.
He said Doc Rivers saved his career.
Who said Doc Rivers saved their career?
Lou did. Lemon Pepper Lou. He said he saved his career because when he got traded to the Clippers and they took the pictures, he didn't even have on a uniform. He was just holding up his jersey. He was like, soon as the picture over, he walked off. And Doc had asked him to come to his office. He had talked to him. He was like, you act like you don't want to be here. He said, shit, I don't. Man said, I done got traded 3 times and what was he got traded what? He'd been on 3 teams in 3 months or some shit like that? Or was it 3 months or 3 months span?
Shit, I don't remember. I remember he played in Philly.
He had talked him into, you know, staying and being okay. He was like, man, this shit was gonna be over for me. He said he was tired of this shit. But he was like, shit, he stayed and shit. He got his mind right and shit. That's when he ended up. He won 2 more 6-man awards after that. I guess Doc good for something, man. He good for motivation. You know what I'm saying? Good for motivation, man. We got on there, John. Who was that football player you were talking about?
Justin Herbert.
What about him?
So we always say well, people always say that this quarterback is good for what, like, but like they just say you can look at them and tell they good. Okay, but what are they producing in the game for you to say that they good? So I done watched the last 3. I know 2 for sure, the Cowboys against the Chargers and the Chiefs against the Chargers. And neither one of them games has Justin Herbert showed me why people think he's a good quarterback. And then last year in the playoff, I might be a little bit off, but they had like a 27-0 lead at the halftime. And the Jaguars come back to win that game 31-30. They gave up 31 in the second half, which is on the defense, but you was only able to score 3 damn points in the second half. What makes my opinion is what makes people think this is a good quarterback? Because he might be putting up decent stats. I just don't understand. Like, I don't know what I'm seeing, right? Like, if you telling me, okay, Justin Herbert throwing for 4,000, 4,500 yards, you telling me he 20, 25, 30 touchdowns, less than 9 or less interceptions. I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, but what is the team doing? Because a lot of players, quarterbacks and shit, like, if you think about a quarterback like Kirk Cousins, this is something I never understood when people were talking about Kirk Cousins was a good quarterback. Most of Kirk Cousins' stats came when the game was already over with, right? The game was already over with. And they just had to throw the ball, and the team just let them throw the ball, right? So if you down 17 points with 2 minutes left, right? And then you go down and score a touchdown to put your team down by 10 with 10 seconds left. And you do that shit 6 times a year, right? That's already 6 touchdowns and probably about 1,200 yards you didn't get, right? 6, 7 touchdowns and 1,200 yards you didn't get. So you already done, that already making it look like, to add to whatever you done the rest of the game, is making you look like you're a good quarterback. But what makes you a good quarterback is what are you doing throughout the game and when the game is tight. Don't tell me, don't tell me you're a good quarterback because you see some stats. It's the same thing. People look at stats and automatically think somebody good.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. You gotta watch the game, watch that person. You gotta watch
it Sunday. I'm trying to see.
They played against the Chiefs this Sunday.
Ah, okay. I don't think did I watch that game? No, I don't think I watched that game. We were watching Detroit and some other play. I don't know. Like, what's the average completion rate for a quarterback, like in the NFL?
About 60-some%.
So you saying he ain't good with running the team?
I don't think so.
And they got a losing record. They ain't going to the playoffs. Don't look like it.
And then, okay, now last year was his first year in the playoffs in the four years. So 4 years in the league, 1 year in the playoff, up 27 at the half, lose 31-30. What about that makes you a good quarterback?
Nothing.
Nothing at all. So he was another one of them ones, just like what's his name? I just said play for the Daniel Jones. He another one of them ones they just paid just because. Like, everybody don't deserve 250 million. I'm not saying don't pay your quarterback if you think you got a decent quarterback. I'm saying don't pay your decent quarterback like he that guy.
Right.
You don't, just because Patrick Mahomes got 60 million a year, and then so they said how the NFL shit work, how the quarterback shit work. So if me and you play quarterback and say I got signed, both of us due for a contract, and I got signed today, and I got 51 million a year, they said the next, once you go to the you gonna look at that and say, look, he got signed for 51. I need 52. And you know what I'm gonna ask you?
But you producing more.
Yeah, but I'm producing more. You know what I'm gonna ask you? What have you done that he done? Because Patrick Mahomes got 2 regular season MVPs, been to the Super Bowl 3 times, won 2 and won 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Have you done any of that for us yet?
So you would have got him 25, 26.
Justin Herbert?
Yeah. I
would have gave him, 25 to 30, no more than 30. But I think what he signed for 5 years and what, 206, 200. Can you pull it up right quick?
Justin Herbert.
I think they gave him like 45 a year or some shit like that.
That was when you get it in
last year, this off season. I mean,
so he signed up into what, 29? Look like it. Hold on, let me present. Can you see that?
I can't really see the numbers. I can see it now. Though. So 200. What they say? 218. Nah, there you go. 5 years, 262 million. Contract term.
52. Up into 2030.
Total guaranteed 218 million. They out there goddamn mind. Come on now, I'm just saying, man. Like you. Come on, man. I don't even wanna. I don't, man. Look, man. One thing I ain't about telling nobody how to, like if a motherfucker stick a contract in front of you right now for more money than you ever seen before, for something that you do, sign that motherfucker. Sign it. That's all I'm saying. Sign that motherfucker.
He says his athleticism, him being athletic, that kind of make him look good. Well, he said people think they make him look good.
Yeah. Okay. So, but he a big quarterback. He got a strong arm. Rocket. He gonna rocket that motherfucker. So you're a big quarterback, strong arm. You can move around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But what about the decision making? What about the ball placement? Like accuracy. Damn. Hold on, right quick.
So is his accuracy on point? Or he's just strong and can throw far or throw hard?
He's strong and can throw far, but you know how sometimes, like, if it's the perfect situation, you're blocking good. You know what I'm saying? Like your pocket clean, ain't nobody around your leg. Like he gonna give you an accurate ball. But what I'm saying, the great ones, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Peyton Manning, motherfucker like that, the great ones, Drew Brees back in his days, Russell Wilson before he became who he is now, motherfucker like that, they gonna put that motherfucker to you on the button even when they got pressure in their face. Some of these motherfuckers ain't putting that motherfucker like they were pressure in their face. They just gonna get rid of that motherfucker, throw it out of bounds or throw an interception or. That's all I'm saying. Like, you gotta watch how much you paying these. You can't just pay a motherfucker because they play quarterback for your team. That ain't how that shit go. Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, maybe Hurts, makes contracts only. And I agree with Mahomes and Burrow for sure. Lamar, okay, I'm starting to become a believer. He had won a unanimous MVP, but Jalen Hurts took the Eagles to the Super Bowl last year. But I need to see more. I need to see more from Jalen Hurts, like, because he looked like the world beater last year. This year he ain't looking good at all, and they just signed him to a max contract. But his team is 6-1. Yeah, Jalen Hurts. His team's 6-1, so they winning. Like, I probably wouldn't even be saying the shit that I'm saying about Justin Herbert if they won 2-4 or 2-5, whatever they record is.
Yeah, I think they 2-4.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be saying the shit about him if they was at least winning. Like, I'm a Titan fan. The world know everybody know me. Know I'm a Titan fan. I do not root for the Titans right now until we get rid of Ryan Tannehill. I'm just a fan of watching NFL. I don't look at no Titans game. I won't watch their game. I don't give a fuck what they score is. None of this shit, because I
told y'all, man. Send the contract over. I'll pull up.
Man, somebody need to pull up.
I'll pull up.
You got a cigar of your own, I see. Yeah, I'm smoking this Joe Burrow. You smoking on the Joe Burrow? I'm smoking on Joe Burrow. I should better be.
Damn, who's smoking on Joe Burrow?
It was a lot of folks made it into a meme when I think that when Kansas City had went to they had lost.
No,
Patrick Mahomes Senior had said it.
That was last year. After they beat them in the playoffs, I remember
that. That shit was funny. I thought about that when he put his name down. Hell no. You had this NBA talk. What you say? You had some more NFL?
No. I was just finna ask
Go on your
about
next
that. I was finna ask about that topic right there. So I got that off. I would listen to Gilbert Arenas, and Gilbert Arenas said something about that because he was like, because I don't like that. Let me say this first, like that play-in shit. I don't like that's the. I agree with the play-in the bubble, and then I agree with the play-in the year after because I think it was a.
That shit was stupid.
That is the stupidest shit.
I ain't agree with it none of the time.
The reason why I agree with it in the bubble is because if you go back and pay attention, everybody didn't play the same amount of games, right? So I'm saying, like, say our team played 60 games and we 41-19, right? Let's just say that. And your team played 57 games. Your team played 57 games. And you done lost. Okay, what's the 57? You 38-19, right? You 38-19. I'm 41-19. Or let's say you 30, or you 39-18. You lost one less game to me, but I won 2-3 more games than you. So I understand. But you done played 3 less games than me. You see what I'm saying? So I understood that because it wasn't equal. But when everybody on the equal playing field, 82 games, at the end of that fucking 82 games, if my record 41-41 and your record 42-40, you deserve to be in the playoffs. I don't give a fuck how close it was. If you won more games than me after 82 games and both teams was allowed to play 82 games, why now do I need to prove to you that I deserve to be in the playoffs? I just did that through 80. So to me, they just made the regular season for teams 7 and 8. I think we made the regular season for teams 7 and 8 don't mean shit. The regular season don't mean shit.
Right.
So why is they even playing if they can't, like I said, I'm gonna say it again. Now, if you got two teams that's 41-41, right? And one of them got some kind of like tiebreaker because they got a better record in the division or whatever the case may be, right? Then you might say, okay, I can understand why they making these two teams play each other to see which one of them, because they still both got the same record, no matter who they beat or who they didn't beat. They still 41-41. So let's just let them play each other. Whoever win, they get to be in. Whoever lose, they out. Right. I'm fine with it. But don't tell me I won 3 games more than this motherfucker won. I won 42 games. I'm 42-40. Your team 39-43, but I still gotta play you because I'm number 8 and you number 9. That don't make sense. That's the stupidest shit ever. Yeah, it's dumb as I don't get it.
Shit, because now it's like you ain't got to work as hard during the season because you got the play-in tournament.
Right. And
as to me.
And they said they felt like that would make teams be more competitive. That'll make teams more competitive. They said to make teams more competitive and try a little harder. I said,
what you say?
Go ahead. Now I'm finna say it's still stupid.
Yeah, because I mean, I think they just looking to get ratings, which is gonna make them more money with their with their TV sponsors. You know, the people who broadcasting the TV. And it's the same shit with this dumbass in season tournament.
I still don't get them.
I know for a fact that's what that video was really about. I know for a fact ain't no players agree on this shit. Because when Shaq asked him about the shit, he walked around it, and then he came back to Shaq question to answer your question. We spoke with the collective bargaining and the team association and all that, and not everybody's on board, but you know, he said when they first announced it, wasn't nobody fucking with it, but now when they came back around to it, it's more people that's, you know, they really trying to force them to myself, like it's gonna be like the NCAA or when you have them holiday tournaments and all that shit, the tournament that they have in Maui and the Atlantic Coast conference tournament, all that shit. Like, nah, this shit's stupid. Just let them folks play. Y'all just trying to make more money off the shit, and then y'all forcing them to play the whole season, which y'all still ain't cut down on the season like they've been asking to go to 62 games instead of the 82.
I think they ain't gonna do that though, and I don't even say they like for one day year, but the players. So from my understanding with that shit, they said the players want to go down to 62 games, but they don't want their contracts to go down. Like you can't say you don't want to play 80. Like I'm paying you $55 million for 82 games, but then you want to drop it to 62 games and still want to make $55 million. No, take them 20 game checks. Subtract it from your $55 million and tell me if you okay with losing that money.
Right, and it's gonna work both ways because they're gonna lose money as a business and you're gonna lose it as a player. So
Yeah,
if y'all
you gotta
agree
lose
on
money
doing
both
that, then I mean, yeah, cool. Let's do it. Majority vote win. Play in tournament, stupid. Bottom line, facts. I still don't understand the play in. It's gonna be regular season games, and the end of the tournament. I think what is it? The last 2 weeks in November or some shit that they gonna play in Vegas for some type of little trophy for the little satisfaction. They trying to make them play harder, and it's just some bullshit to me. At the end of the day, he try to make it look good, but that shit's stupid.
I ain't gonna lie. If I'm a motherfucker like LeBron, I'm not playing in this shit. I don't give a fuck what they say. Nah, he got a choice. He can take the fine. I take the fine. Like I'm not. Man, I'm worth 1.2 billion. Whatever you gonna find me is not gonna hurt me, baby. I'm not playing this stupid ass shit.
They try to mask it by saying by you playing. They steal your regular season games. That's how they try to hide it by putting it in with it.
Oh,
I think 2 of the games ain't gonna count though as regular season. I think the last 2 games not gonna count for nothing. Them 2 games just for that tournament.
Yeah, see this shit like I don't know. See, look, they saying that they trying to make like they trying to stop like last year when Portland realized that it was no way for them to make the playoffs. They just sit Dame out for like the last 10 games or something, right? And they trying to stop shit like that. And so that's why I said that question that that shit that Gilbert Arenas, it made me think when I was listening to it, because he was like, what they should do is take the teams that don't make the playoff, make them play in the tournament. Winner of the tournament get the #1 fucking pick. So if you got the Lakers and the Nuggets, if you
we ain't got to that yet.
That's the question you just asked me then.
Okay. Was that the one that was up? Okay, yeah, that what we was on. Yeah.
And so he's saying like the Lakers and the Nuggets last year. So the Nuggets won the championship, but let's just say there were 2 teams who didn't make it. There was the championship for the #1 pick. Okay, fine. So the Nuggets won, they get the #1 pick, the Lakers get the #2 pick. And whatever team was in the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals, let them 2 motherfuckers play for 3 and 4. You know what I'm saying? Since they lost and weren't able to go to the championship, let them play for 3 and 4. And then, you know, however the shit went and so on or whatever, right? Because that'll keep the season, to me, that'll keep the shit competitive, because now you got to continue to play your best players all year round, or your ass gonna have a 13-69 record and be one of the last goddamn draft picks. So your ass better play. All right.
So he's saying. So hold on, I'm trying to see because I missed some. Was he saying for the season tournament, put that shit at the end of the year to where they can play?
Yeah, he's saying because like okay, they were saying how to play in was stupid too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they was like asking like why would they do the play in, and they were like it's for more money, and they trying to make the teams continue to be competitive instead of like once you ain't making the playoff, you rest your team even though it's still rest your best players even though it's still motherfuckers coming to pay.
They started doing that. They started doing that shit that they started doing last year. Was pulling all them teams got on that shit to where they started throwing games. Really, they were basically throwing games because they were resting players and shit.
Yeah, Dallas did that.
Yeah, Dallas did it. Portland did it.
Dallas still had the chance where like they had 4 games left. If they would have won 2 or 3 of them, they could have made the play in.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of them trying to make the play in, they decided, okay, we're gonna sit Kyrie out. And then Luka was like, I'm still gonna play. And then he ended up playing a half of one of the games, and then they didn't let him play in the second half, and then didn't let him play in no more other games.
Right.
And so, but the reason for that was I think they said if they pick would have failed in the top 10, it would have had to go to somebody. If it fell outside the top 10, they got to keep it. Like if it was the 11 pick, they got to keep it. So whichever way it was, they were trying to make sure it went that way. And then it ended up going that way where they got to keep their draft pick. If I was them, I would have fined the shit out of them and made them
like
forfeit
5 teams that did that shit. I know Dallas and Portland was the 2 that I really actually seen the shit, like actually seen them do it, but it was more teams than just them.
But you know how much money, like, do you know how much money you cost like fans like us, like regular fans? Because all right, so say you might have bet like this year, right? Let's say Orlando. So this year you might have bet, okay, over under on Orlando 25 games, and you bet the over. So Orlando might get to game 79 or game 78 with 4 more games left, and they already done won 25 games. So they need to win 1 or 2 of them last 5 games, and then they just sit everybody. How much money they just cost you? They see everybody but the 7, 8 motherfucker coming off the bench. They just sit everybody else. So like they just cost you all that money because you betting on this team, and they decided they ain't sit these players because they got injured. They sit these players so they won't get injured, and they'll be ready for next season. Okay, y'all thinking long term. I don't have no problem with you thinking long term, but we pay to see a product. And these players is a part of that product, whether we want to agree with it or not. They're a part of this shit, and that's the problem that I agree with it.
That link I just posted, that's the Adam Silverman talking about it opening night on with Shaq now when they was asking them the questions. If y'all want to check it out in the chat, like he was trying to break it down, but that shit's still stupid.
It is stupid, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't even listened to it yet. I'm gonna listen to it once we get done myself. But it is stupid just for the simple fact that, like, okay, like I don't know what kind of ratings the NBA been getting lately. Like, if they losing viewership, if they losing money, it might be the case. They might be losing whatever, right? Okay, fine. So you coming up with all this other shit trying to hope. It done got so crazy. They decided they saying that they think they finna go back to the East-West format for the All-Star game. The All-Star game just washed. It's over with. It's just like the Pro Bowl. It's over with. It's nothing no more. Like, because
the Pro Bowl.
yeah, I'm saying. This what I'm saying though, bro. Look, think about this, right? Back in the day when they were playing All-Star game, playing Pro Bowl, the winner got $100,000, the loser got $50,000, right? So if you think about that, right? If you making, if the best player on the court, the best player in the league making $2-3 million a year, yeah, they finna go hard to get that 100,000. These niggas best players Motherfucking Jaylen Brown, Anthony Davis, Greek Freak making 60 million. You think they give a fuck about $100,000?
So it's just like now where they raise interest rates, but they don't want to raise the amount that they pay them out.
Yeah.
Like that shit's supposed to be up to what? Okay, what they was getting paid during that time when they was paying their 100.
They said the highest paid player at one point was because you remember Magic Johnson had signed for 25 years, 25 million. That's $1 million a year, bro.
So that's when they started doing 100,000 around that time.
I think they was doing 25 for the loser, 50 for the winner around that time.
So
but I'm saying 50,000. Yeah, 50,000 still a lot of money when you ain't making nothing but $1 million a year. That's a lot of fun. And that's Magic. Some of them motherfuckers weren't even making $1 million. Some of them making hundreds of thousands. That's like telling these WNBA women, like right now, these WNBA women, like ain't nobody, what, the highest paid one making like 300,000. So if you have a WNBA All-Star game and you tell them folks that the winners of this All-Star game getting $100,000 a piece, I don't folks finna try to kill each other to get this 100,000 because some of them players on that probably ain't even making 100,000 for the year.
But the way that they pay them the same way that they pay the NBA players. It's based off the revenue that they bring in. It's a percentage.
No, I agree. I understand the way they pay them, but I'm just saying, like, if you telling me as a motherfucker that make 300,000 that I can play one game and make $100,000 if I win that game, I'm finna give I think what they play like 30-some games a year, 40-some games a year.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, it take you
like
40.
Something like
but
that.
I'm just gonna say 40 for this argument. If you play 40 games, right, and make $350,000, and they say you can play one game and make $100,000 if you win that one game, how hard is you gonna go for that one game? You finna get out there in that one game and act like you broke as a son, bitch, fool.
But they ain't gonna get him though.
No, I'm saying that's the level of thinking back then. But now you saying even if you raised it to $250,000, $250,000, even if you raised it to 500,000, you got LeBron out there making 50-some million. You got KD out there making 50 million. You got Jason Tatum out there making 50 million. Greek Freak making 50 million. And
you know what they done turned it into?
What?
They done turned the All-Star into a tax write-off. All the events is donation to this, to that. Every event. So it's basically a donation game now. That whole weekend. That's all they doing is donate money that they what's the name? So they really giving away the NBA players' money to these non-profit organizations, basically, with the NBA care stuff and all that.
Man, them folks said
when they could take that same money. I mean, I ain't saying they got to do it every year, but y'all can give the money to the charities, 1 year, but like every other year, man, do that shit for the NBA teams. That way you can put more money over there on not the NBA team, but the WNBA team to try to, you know what I'm saying? That could help them.
That's true. But I'm just saying though, if your job, if you work the job where you made, let's just say you made $100,000 a year, right? 100,000. And then they came to you and was like, okay, we finna have whatever you do, we finna have a writing competition. Whoever win this writing competition, we're gonna get them $200. Man, you was not gonna take that shit serious. You don't give a fuck about no $200. You make 100,000, 150,000, 200,000. What the fuck do you care about $200?
Right.
You might not even participate in the shit.
They play 40 games a year too. And shout out to Las Vegas. Did we
Las
shout
Vegas
out
Aces? Nah, we didn't.
Shout out Asia Wilson.
Fuck Asia Williams. I'm shouting out Candy Parker. That's my girl. Even though she ain't play, she was on that motherfucking team though. First lady in WNBA. First lady in WNBA history to win the championship on 3 different teams. The LeBron Giants of the WNBA, baby.
This team is the Miami team of the WNBA. Goddamn, the Las Vegas Aces.
The Miami Heat team.
Yeah, they stack. They. This is a fucking super team.
You know what's crazy? Who that was they played in that championship?
New York.
They said. Okay, so New York. Then they said New York beat them every game this regular season that they played. New York won every game.
They beat their ass when it mattered.
But they beat them when it mattered. And you think about that though, Miami Heat, when they beat Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Nets in the playoff. If you remember, the Brooklyn Nets beat them 4-0 in the regular season. All 4 games they played them, Brooklyn won all 4 games, and then they get to the playoff and lose 4-1. Shit crazy here. I remember that shit like it. Because I was tripping off this shit. I was like, damn, like that's why you can really just say the regular season. I ain't saying it don't matter, but some folks don't raise they play to that level in the regular season. Yeah, but come playoff time when that shit really, really matter, I'm on your ass. Like it ain't, man, you better quit playing. I'm on your ass. So yeah.
They stack like a motherfucker. They might be doing a 3-peat. Ain't no telling.
You think they can do that? You think they got that in them?
Yeah. As long as they stick with the game plan, I think they can 3-peat. And they brought Candace Parker over there for to be their vet over there, which wasn't a bad idea.
No, because I think every team need vets. Like especially if those the team, like if it's a team with a lot of young people who want to learn the ins and out of the game and how to do this and how to do that. I'm trying to think of that man name. I was watching the interview and he said, damn, who that was? He said, I think he said Steve Smith. Smitty, he said Smitty taught him how to be an NBA player. He said when he got drafted, Smitty took him money. That might say Smitty took him shopping, bought him a car, gave him like $20,000 in cash, and told him he had his back. And he said that went a long way to him.
Yeah, that's what your vet's supposed to do. That's what he's supposed to do, man. Shit, it's gonna do it for today. It's gonna do it for today, y'all, man. We appreciate everybody coming by, checking up on us, being around. You know what I'm saying? APG wasn't able to be here. Adam. What up, Adam? Yeah, we good. I said, y'all hope y'all had a good show. Yeah, we had a good show, man. It was, it was NBA, all NBA today. A little football. NBA. They opened night last night. But yeah, it's gonna do it for today, man. We're gonna catch y'all next week. You already know it's Connect.
FatBoy Spike.
We're gonna hit y'all next week, man. Appreciate everybody stopping through.
We out of here.